Hey MCoC community, it's 8th Theros back again with 8th updates, and today I wanted to go into episode 2 of our love letters to Kabam. This is our kind of our digital suggestion box for things that I think would greatly and vastly improve the game. So in episode 2, I brought up this topic last night about with alliance wars, discussing how they should take a break, a 1 week break from all wars in between in the off season. And I thought I might get some pushback because when doing so, that means that obviously you don't have a chance to get 5-star or 4-star shards. But the real big pushback would be from the fact that even in off seasons when alliance wars don't matter as much because they've decreased the value of points in the off season, you don't have the opportunity to get loyalty. So, I want to take tonight to discuss that very topic, loyalty. Okay, so what does it mean, loyalty? When I think of the word loyalty, I looked it up, right? Looked up what Webster's dictionary said. It talks about allegiance, fidelity, a sense of duty, or attachment to someone, something, or an ideal, right? And so, when I think of loyalty, I think that's what we all kind of think of. And so, what I want to talk about is, does the way loyalty being handed out in MCoC represent that, being loyal to your alliance and being loyal to the teammates in your alliance and in your battle groups, right? So let's first talk about how we get it and is there a better way to get it? So first, one of the main ways we get it, like I said in episode 1, is alliance wars, right? If you win a war, first of all, you get a certain amount of loyalty, right? You can also get them from war crystals, right? You can get them from a loss or a win in a war crystal, right? And then you can also get one from losing a war, right? Or for not losing a war, right? So you don't get any loyalty if you lose a war, right? And I've always been very this hit me as a weird concept, right? Is like because we lost a war, I'm less loyal to my alliance, right? I mean that's what we're saying essentially with the word loyalty, right? So they change the term, right, or change the way it works, right? And then you can get it from hitting the help button, right? There's really not a lot of other ways to get loyalty in the game. So, and the help button being request to recharge energy or request to recharge arena usage heroes, right? Okay, so now we know how we get it. How should we get it, right? So if we discuss loyalty, right, I kind of think it's dealing with time with an alliance, right? And so part of being loyal to an alliance is sticking with that alliance through the thick and thin, through the good times, the bad times. I mean, I know when we first started the alliance that I currently run, we won every war for like 2 seasons, right? And then we got up into higher tier and higher level, and we started to lose some and win some, and that happens, right? But most of our core is stuck together because we're friends, we're a community, and we're loyal to each other, right? I know that you can't always be loyal to somebody, but I think that's an important thing is being able to band together as a group and win and lose together, right? So here's what I think you should do, is have a timer, right? And this timer, every day when you log in, it can be like a calendar that counts up, right? So each day you get an incremental increase in loyalty per day, right? So if you're in the alliance for 1 day, and this would have to obviously be once you have met your donation time. So if it's 6 days or 7 days, whatever that is, then your timer will start, right? So you've got this period before it starts, right? And day 1 might give you 50 loyalty, and day 2 might give you 60, and day 3 might give you 70, right? So 50, 60, 70, not 10 more the next day, in the sense of saying you get 10. So on day 2 you would have a total of 110 actual loyalty, and on day 3 you would have 180 actual loyalty, right? And while these start off small, over time, if you're with an alliance for a year and a half, I mean this could add up pretty quickly, right? And a lot of summoners find it really hard to get to 800,000 because they're having to use loyalty, they're having to donate really large chunks of loyalty for Alliance Quest, and they just they can't really keep as much, and they want to use loyalty in the store when they have the level 1 team revives come up and so forth, right? But then what happens if you leave an alliance versus get kicked? So I think there should be an option. So if you leave an alliance, maybe you're not necessarily disloyal, but maybe you want to go somewhere else, right? And you want to try your hand at a higher or even a lower level. Maybe it's gotten too much for you and whatnot. So if you leave, I think the timer should start over with a new alliance, right? Okay, so you just starts over, right? So it starts with your new alliance. Once it just starts over, right? And then, but if you're kicked, right? I think that if you're kicked, you don't really have an option in that, right? So I think if you leave, you're saying to them, I am not going to be loyal to you guys anymore. I want to go somewhere else. But if you get kicked, you don't have necessarily a choice in that, right? They have made a decision for you, and that shouldn't affect your loyalty to an alliance per se. So I think that if you get kicked, the timer should start in half of what you were kicked at in the new alliance. So let's say you're at day 2, right? Then it should go back down to either half of that or day 1 amount. So if you're at day 2, right, and that would be 60 loyalty, and it would kick you down to 30, it would kick you back up to 50. Well, let's say you're at day 100 and you're at, I don't know, some random number of 1,000, right? Then it would kick you down to 500 and you would start at 500 again and go up, right? So that way you're not necessarily being penalized for being kicked. And yes, I know there could be abuses where you can say, well, just kick me then. You know what I mean? If I'm going to leave, can you kick me? Okay, fine, right? You go into another alliance, but you don't necessarily lose a lot of time that you were loyal to another alliance for. All right, so then alliance contributions, okay? I think that being loyal should be contributing to an alliance, right? So each day of an alliance quest that you participate in and score points toward helping your team, right? So you don't just enter the alliance quest, because if you're running like map 4 and you don't need everybody in your battle group to finish it, but if you just enter it, then you can get the same amount of loyalty and not have to do anything, right? But if you entered and you scored some points in an alliance, you're helping that alliance. You're being loyal and helping that alliance grow and helping each member of that alliance grow. Get a set number of loyalty, say 1,000 per day, right? Same thing with each war. Each war you participate in, you receive a set amount, right? So if I place defenders, I am passively participating, right? Sometimes we have people in our alliance that, for whatever reason have forgotten to place, or something, life has come up and you didn't help participate that time. So you receive a set amount, right? But let's say you don't place defenders because something happened to your phone, right? But then you help attack. If you score points, you're helping your alliance now. So you should receive the 500 there per war, right? Okay. Then alliance events. So here's the real interesting one. I think this is what the focus of really where the bulk of your points should be, besides just time, right? So the 3-day events, love them. I think they're great, right? But I think that, some alliances say you have to do this, right? You have to do these, meet these minimums and so forth. I think a lot of alliances kind of got away from that, but I think there are still some that do that, right? But then each 3-day event you participate in, right? Not only do you receive the rewards that you already have, but you receive a small amount of loyalty, say 500, right? But then you receive 10% of the total number of points you put up in a 3-day event. So, a lot of the 3-day events I put up, like the arena ones, I put up 30, 40, 50,000 points. Versus 10,000 of that, I've got 3,000 to 5,000 loyalty now, right? That's a big chunk, right? And then also summoner advancement, right? Now summoner advancement, because it's not a 3-day event, it's a weekly event. You should get 1,000 because you can do essentially 2 3-day events in a general week, right? And then receive 5% of the total number of points that you individually rack up in summoner advancement. This wouldn't be hard to do, right? It shows you how many points you have. Just when it dishes out the rewards, just put the loyalty in there with the rewards that you receive for summoner advancement, right? And then finally, donations, right? If some people can't afford to donate some weeks. They need to rank or level up a hero. Maybe they just something happened in life and they didn't have the chance to grind arenas that week. And I think that you should get a set amount, maybe 1,000 per thing that you donate to, right? If you donate, and we do have to have a minimum. So if you donate a minimum of X gold, minimum of X battle chips, minimum of X loyalty, then you would get 1,000 loyalty for that, right? And I think you could set those minimums based on, a whole host of things. Where you stand in Alliance War or Alliance Quests, what your previous Alliance Quest week was. If you were in the top 500 or the top 250 or whatever it was, maybe you have to minimum donate a certain amount more than that, right? But I think that this would give players an opportunity to get a lot more loyalty for actually being loyal to the Alliance, right? And take it out of winning a war, right? I mean, winning a war doesn't mean anything, okay? And then it also takes the pressure off of having to do wars in the off season, right? I mean, we talk about doing 1 to 2 wars, or 1 to 2 battle groups in the off season for wars, but people are like, well, I need loyalty, and I don't think the two should correlate together. And having to do Alliance wars in the off season, some people just want to break from it. They think it's fun. I think in episode 1 we talked about a lot of things that would make Alliance wars a lot more interesting, a lot more fun. But if you're always going to do them to grind out this loyalty, I think it's for donations or for even some of the rewards they have in there. I think it takes the fun out of wars, first of all, the Alliance wars, and also really doesn't reward what loyalty I think is supposed to reward for. So, and then where should it be removed? Finally, I think it should be removed from the Alliance War Crystal, okay, and the help button. So personally, I think the help button should be removed altogether, right? Just remove it, right? I'll have a short little episode on the help button later on, but my general thoughts: remove it altogether. You don't need to reward loyalty for it. All of the changes I proposed earlier will give you more than enough loyalty over the course of a week or even longer. So just remove the help button. It slows the game down. It's outdated. It's a bane of existence for most people. They have to sit there and hit the help for no end, for time on end. So anyways, that's it for this episode. I think that this should make loyalty more important. I think it would make it what it is supposed to be, and I hope you guys liked it. So if you did, please hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, hit them all, and I will see you for episode 3 soon. Thank you very much.